Hi, readers. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Katie.
And welcome to Not Another Heroine. Like you all, we like to read a lot. In between our podcast books, we are deep diving into a bunch of other heroines. So we'd like to introduce you to our pick of the week. So this week, Katie was the one to find the book. So can you just dive into it?
Sure. Yeah. So in between reading, probably it was like one or two books ago. So The Undying King, I think before I started The Undying King, I saw this book all over Book Talk and I was like, you know what? I want something a little involved. I want to read something because I'm stressed out all the time. I want to disassociate from life. So I read...
Don't we all?
Yep. So I read The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. It's a hefty book. I just want to put that out there to begin with. So it's 532 pages on Kindle. It's chunks, but it was really good. It's been a while since I've been able to find a book that I actually enjoyed and kind of smashed through in like 1 or 2 days. Obviously I had like responsibilities, so I couldn't read it all in one night. But it's on that level of like that kind of book that you want to read in one sitting. And so the premise...
That's like... Oh, sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Interrupt me.
But like one of my...
Sorry, that was aggressive.
One of my like... that was very aggressive. I feel threatened now, Katie.
We're in the afternoon like energy burst moment where I feel kind of like froggy and...
You need to get some more of those like chocolate peanut butter marshmallows.
Oh my God.
Going on.
Okay, listeners, Trader Joe's, their peanut butter marshmallows. I think they're just called peanut butter marshmallows. So good. Unless you're allergic to peanut butter, like don't eat these. But otherwise, just immediately go to Trader Joe's and buy some.
They're amazing. Also, we're not sponsored by Trader Joe's by any means. We just love these.
Could you imagine?
We love these things. They're so good.
I spend an ungodly amount of money at Trader Joe's each week because everything is delicious. I don't like the fact that everything is like individually wrapper like packaged though. Like, you know, your girl is trying to save the environment. Not great for that, but I love everything Trader Joe's.
I love the individual packaging because that is like, okay, so hear me out. That saves me. Like, that's like a mental stop. Like, oh, I've unwrapped 3 things. I need to stop.
That's fair.
But anyway, the reason I interrupted, besides the marshmallows. So my metric of a really good book is, does it keep me up at night? Like, do I stay up past my bedtime to read one more page, which turns into 50 more pages, and then it's 2:00 in the morning and you have to wake up in 4 hours? So was that this book for you?
Yep. Hands down, no questions asked.
Oh, dear.
It was that kind of book. And so the premise, so it starts out, it's this like little girl who her whole family dies in somewhat questionable circumstances. There's some like vampires, and this vampire king shows up and he's like, oh, wow, she's like not scared of me. Like, I admire that. And he has this moment of like, you know what? I'm going to rescue this small baby child. So a moment of humanity. And so he takes her into his like castle home to be his like adopted daughter. But she's still human in a land of vampires. And so it kind of fast forward and there's this like ceremony thing that happens like every couple years or every year. No, I think it's like every 100 years. Yeah. Where whoever the winner is of this competition gets one wish from the like goddess of death. She probably has a name, but like obviously, if you've gotten to this point, you know that names and I do not agree. And so if you win this competition, you get like whatever your wish is. And so the king who adopted her, the vampire king, is obviously always concerned about being overthrown because the vampires like obviously like are immortal, and so you just get murdered and then someone takes over. So he's like kind of nervous about it, and so their game plan is that if she wins the competition, she is going to wish to be like soul bonded with her dad, and so that they can share power, and you know, she'll get extra power from this like death goddess chick, and then they'll be invincible. Their kingdom will never be overthrown. And so
that's a super cute little
it's like a
father-daughter thing.
I know, because I was very confused at first. I'm like, is this going to be one of those weird like age things where like he's not really her dad, it's like her paramour? But no, like it's like father-daughter team, like we came here to fuck shit up. And so she enters into the competition, and she's a human, so she's obviously at like a disadvantage. And hijinks ensue. They're trapped in this like giant castle, and it's basically like whoever survives at the end. And they have tasks that they have to like compete to, but you can also like kill people in between those tasks, if you get around to it and have enough energy. Also of concern, there's no like food in the castle for the vampires to eat. And she is human. So that's obviously like concern number one.
Ooh, that's a fun twist. Yeah. I mean, it's a very dark twist.
Yeah. But. And I think they can like leave for the night hours, like sometimes, but then later in the competition, like, nope, you're stuck in here. You're going to starve unless you kill people. And so she is kind of on her own at first, and she's like stressed out the whole time. And the first like scene when they get dumped into this palace or whatever is like really dark. Like it's immediately like all the lights are turned off and all the vampires like start like killing all these humans that they've dumped in for like food. And she's just like running around in the dark because she can't see anything because again, human. But she's also been like training with her dad her whole life, so she's not like totally inept and not able to win this. So it's like a little bit of realism. But eventually she goes through the first task, and she does okay, but like not great. She's like kind of like wounded. She got kind of fucked up during it. And so she finds these two people that she is going to like, she doesn't want to be on like a team with them, but she is. And so they team up. One of them, obviously, hot guy love interest. LOL.
Of course, because it wouldn't be this genre without that.
Yep. And so they team up. They go through the second and third like tasks or whatever, and things are going okay. And then if you plan on reading this, please turn off the podcast for the next 30 seconds and just skip past it, because I'm going to literally like... Should I not spoil it?
Don't spoil it. I'm planning on reading this.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't mind spoilers.
I've hooked you.
But
but there is a fucking big ass spoiler at the end. Holy shit. I like my like jaw was on the ground. I was like, she did not. So excellent plot twist at the end. Very much worth it. And it was cute. It was unique. It felt, and there's like little tidbit moments like during the thing where the dad kind of like sneaks her in some stuff, and you're like, oh, that's so like, he's like really rooting for her, and he's like breaking all kinds of laws to like help her cheat, but like love to see it. And they also have this like sub plot kind of thing where the girl has been like killing naughty vampires who are trying to like suck blood from the human population that they have like around the castle, even though that's illegal. And so she like goes out and like hunts these fuckers and kills them. Love that tidbit too. Yeah, but great book. Read it in like 1 or 2 sittings. Probably would have been one had I not had responsibilities, but I am an adult. Yeah, very much enjoyed it. I think I gave it 4 stars, but it was like a 4.5 kind of stars.
I was about to say you hand out five stars pretty regularly.
Oh yes, I do.
Okay, last point before we wrap up. Mm-hmm. What are some similar books to this one?
Let me think about it. So it has some of the same like competition like undertones, like A Court of Thorns and Roses, when like Feyre is going through all those like events to like save her life. So it kind of has that vibe. It kind of almost has like Hunger Games vibes, where it's like everyone is out for themselves and you're kind of like hesitant about joining forces with other people. It also kind of gives me the vibe of what is that book? An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Taher. I think that's how you say her name.
I tried to read that book. That one didn't grab me.
It didn't grab me either, but some of the like characterizations, the like competition atmosphere, like having to kind of like be like a double agent against some people, it had that vibe with it. And then it also kind of has like the brutal competition aspect of 3 Dark Crowns. Did you ever read that?
I never read that one either.
Okay, so that one is like, 3 sisters. There can only be one queen, and they each have like a talent, and it's like a competition of who can be queen or whatever. But it's super brutal. Like they do a bunch of fucked up shit in that book. So it kind of has that aspect of like a lot of like blood and gore. Like the last task that they have to do in the Serpent in the Wings of Night is like really brutal, and there's death everywhere. So it kind of has that same like lethal yeesh when you're reading it.
Oh man, I mean, I'm excited to read this one now. So
I know it was really good.
I appreciate the little preview.
Yeah, that is my mini pick of the week.
Well, there you have it. So from Katie's shelf to yours.
We'll see you on the next page. Hi, readers. If you'd like to help us pick our next book, send us a message on Instagram.
Or if you'd like to just listen, we post new episodes every Monday on Spotify, Amazon, or Apple Music. Thanks for listening.